Hey, it's Wednesday, November 13th, 2019, and this is the Pro and Con Show, and Facebook Live is doing one of its favorite things, which is messing up somehow. So I don't know whether this is being recorded or not, but all right, there we go. So the Pro and Con Show, I'm your host, Michael James Ott, and try to do the show once a day in 10, 15 minutes kind of thing. Hopefully where people, some number of people, maybe large numbers of people eventually will view these videos and be better citizens, kind of take it in and say, yeah, Michael is right. I need to spend a little bit more time, being a good citizen, understanding these issues, being open to at least understanding the opposing views on the issues, and constantly learning. And this is one of the things. So today's show, rather than talk about some of the bias that's in the news, and again, I always emphasize, focus on the facts. So the who, the what, the where, and the when, and leave whenever someone starts saying, well, what do you think it means, and so on. You decide what you think it means. And hence the Pro and the Con Show. Absorbing the whole truth, the pro and the con, the good and the bad, the for and against. But constantly learning. So there's a little bit of a plug here for Netflix. They have a series of shows that they're doing, and again, they're like little 10, 15-minute segments, and it's a show called Explained. And what they do is they take little bits and pieces of everyday kind of things, and they explain a little bit more detail behind them. So, for example, there's a 15-minute video about music and why music is the way that it is, and why humans perceive of music the way that we do, and so on. Which is all, it's a very interesting thing. Never stop learning. Okay. But in my and one of those videos was about cults, and so this show I call Cults, and I'm wanting to relate this some to the this Hatfields and McCoy's kind of thing, the Democrats versus the Republicans versus Democrats. This constant polarization and berating of a different political party or a different group of people just because they're perceived to not really think the way that you do. And so you're on the one team, or you're in the one tribe, and these other people are in another tribe. And so this stuff about cults, it really started kind of striking home. So I wanted to and again, you can go and watch this on Netflix. Again, the series is called Explained, and one of those in the series is called Cults. So I watch it yourself, 15 minutes. But I just wanted to take a couple of snapshots here so you can see. I literally took a snapshot of the screen, television screen, while I was watching this. And so what are the characteristics of a cult? Well, you have a charismatic leader, and then the charismatic leader, will kind of get you, or he and other people that he causes to believe like him, kind of gather you in and apply some kind of levels of mind control, if you will. So limiting the information that you see, or spinning the information in a way that causes you to believe things that if you were to have a bigger, broader view, and again, the purpose of the Pro and Con Show, please have that bigger, broader view. But so this is this kind of mind control thing, and then there's some level of exploitation. And so for a lot of cults, it means that the leader, the people in the cult are going to give very often financially to the cult leader in exchange for promises of benefits either here or in some future life. Okay, so that's kind of the basics of a cult. So charismatic leader with some level of mind control, information control, and then exploitation. And so the important part is, how do you end up in a cult? So how do you get indoctrinated? And so they have this nice other little graphic about indoctrination into a cult. So I'm just going to hold that up there for a moment. And you can pause the video if you want, or you can go watch the video yourself on Netflix. But I'll go through these very quickly. So the elements of indoctrination. So you have people, they feel like they're at a crossroads somehow. So maybe they've been out of work for a while, or they feel like no one understands them, or, so they could be, they could be people with a certain sexual preference or something that they feel like, is not accepted by the general public, or religious belief, or, whatever it is, but they feel like they're kind of in a place where they're not feeling good about themselves, and they're not feeling good. So they're at some kind of feeling of like they're at the crossroads in their life. And then what will happen is the cult will give this kind of soft sell kind of thing, like, hey, life could be better. Maybe you'd want to listen to me for a while and just, maybe come to some meetings and see what we have to say, and so on. And then once you've kind of coming in there and you now are, kind of in the organization or part of the organization, then there's a new reality. And again, it's the spin of the information. And then another aspect of it is there's this prime leader or person that, basically says, I'm great in every way, and here's why, and here's what I believe, and you should believe in me. Okay, so this is the dear leader kind of thing. Another aspect of it is that now there's got to be enemies. So, and that's why I'm talking about this, Democrats versus Republicans. There's got to be enemies, right? So again, it's us, it's our group, and we have this great understanding of what is next, perhaps in the next life, or about the alien people coming to this planet or whatever, and we're gonna, we have this understanding and other people don't, and they're the enemy. They're trying to tell us that we don't know what we're doing, and so on. So another element of it is peer pressure. So there's people, and they'll if you start questioning the doctrine, if you will, of this cult, then the peers start, you're terrible, you're a horrible person, blah 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 blah, and you need to follow the scriptures, if you will, the mandates of the cult. And it's always this dear leader is a sociopathic narcissist. So he's and that's part of the reason why there's always exploitation. So it's all about me. It's all about the leader and nothing else. And so, just to finish up the thought, then, so Mr. Trump, if you think about this, he has endeared himself to, it's a fairly large group. It's millions of Americans who felt like there's a ton of these people feel like they're at a crossroads, that, they feel like, they had a certain position in the country and so on, and, that has been eroded over time. And so they're feeling like they're feeling abandoned or less appreciated. He comes in and says, "Oh, I'm going to win. It's going to be great. Let me do all this stuff. Just pay attention to what I'm doing." and he has, you know, these surrogates that help him out, and including, quite frankly, Fox News. So Fox News is an organization that's privately held, and you know, it basically promotes the agenda that is, you know, kind of in alignment with some of these things. And again, it's privately owned, and there's no government control or anything, or government oversight, or oversight by anything. So they're able to say whatever they want. And by virtue of Fox News and the fact that you know, the people, Mr. Trump and others around him, can say anything they want, it's a free country, then you have this new reality. So what, you know, the who, the what, the where, and the when sometimes gets ignored. It's like, no, that's fake news. No, the who, the what, the where, and the when, if it's, you know, you see it, that's real. It's not fake. And of course, Mr. Trump, the dear leader. So, you know, I'm awesome. I'm the best ever. I'm better than any president ever. I've had the best, you know, first year in office, the first 2 years in office. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. Okay, there's enemies. So the Democrats, they're socialists. They're don't care about the country, and immigrants are here to kill you. Okay, so there's the Democrats, and the immigrants are the enemies. Okay, and then the peer pressure. So you have guys like Nunez and Jordan and stuff like that. So some of these Republicans that are just adamant followers of Mr. Trump, and they shout down. As well as Mr. Trump himself, they shout down any people in their areas, you know, kind of close to them, that start questioning the superiority of the supreme leader. And of course, Mr. Trump, then, a sociopathic narcissist. That's he's you know, everyone is very clear on this. He's a narcissist in a huge way, and cares only about himself. And so, you know, in a lot of ways, what's going on with Mr. Trump and the current version of the Republican Party is, it's basically a cult, a really large one, or a tribe, if you want to think of it that way. And that's, again, one of the reasons why I do the show, is to try to encourage people to you know, think this through and understand that they could easily be manipulated, or being manipulated. Okay, and so it's really critical that you understand it, and you are willing to you know, at least think it over, that maybe everything that you're being told, or everything that you think you're being told, isn't quite the true reality. And again, focus on the who, the what, the where, and the when. And one of the things that, by the way, cults start to fail, or people start leaving cults or tribes, is because they become disillusioned with the leadership of the cult. And how does that happen? Well, over time, they keep watching what's going on, and rather than just ignorantly, you know, blindly following, they start watching, and they're like, well, wait a second, they promised this, or they promised that, you know. For example, in certain religious cults, they might be, you know, suggesting or forecasting that, well, the end of time is going to happen, you know, 2 years from now or something, and then it doesn't happen. And then the head of the cult will say, well, it's going to happen in another year and a half or something on this date, and then it doesn't happen. And so after a while, people will start realizing, this guy doesn't really have the vision that he says, or said originally, that he had. And the same sort of thing goes on with Mr. Trump. He's, you know, made all of these grand promises, and, you know, a lot of them, I mean, he's followed through on a few of them, but a lot of them he has not followed through on. You know, the vast majority of them he has not followed through on. And certainly anything that requires cooperation from, you know, from the rest of us, wow, he pretty much has not followed through on anything like that. And one of the biggest concerns for me, just to throw in this thing, is this national debt of $1 trillion a year when the budget is four trillion. Wow, that's a 20%, and this is the good times. The economy is good, the employment rate is good, the tax rate should be, or the tax base should be large, and yet we're 20% underwater on an annual basis. It's wow, we're really selling the future short at this point. Horribly. It's terrible. But anyway, so that's it. So the Pro and Con show for today, Wednesday, November 13th. Hope you enjoyed the show. Again, Netflix has this Explained series. Lots of good information there. Definitely recommend it. And until the next show, bye for now.